Hi to all. So I'm Satish. Today we are going to discuss about satellite communication. So first of all, we are going to see about objectives of this subject. Basically, we have four objectives: to understand the basics of satellite orbits, then to understand the satellite segment and Earth segment, then to analyze the various methods of satellite access, then finally to understand the applications of satellite. Okay, next. So we have to know somewhat basics about the satellite communication, uh, so that we are going to see somewhat basic topics, that is called basics to know. The first one, what is satellite; second, what is orbit; third, what is satellite communication; then fourth, how it looks; fifth, elements of satellite; then how it works; then finally types of satellite. So these are all the some basics. One by one we are going to see about next. Okay, first, what is satellite? A satellite, it is an artificial body placed in orbit around the earth or another planet in order to collect information or for communication. So we have a different name for satellite, that is space station, space capsule, spacecraft. So we also have another definition for satellite, that is a celestial body orbiting the earth or another planet. We have an idea, we don't have idea about celestial body. What is celestial body? So it's a natural body outside the earth's atmosphere. uh, we have some examples beyond the satellite, that is moon, sun and other planets of our solar system. These are the some examples for celestial body which are placed in a earth, which are placed in the sky, sorry. Next, how it looks. So these are the some pictures which give some idea about the satellite, what is how it looks, right? Next, what is orbit? The regularly repeated elliptical course of a celestial object or spacecraft about a star or planet, which is called an orbit. So an orbit is nothing but a path which looks like an elliptical shape, uh, which looks around the earth or any other planet or about a star. We have different name for orbit, that is path, course, circuit, track, rotation, revolution, circle, cycle, round. These are the some different names for an orbit. So what is an orbit? We have another definition too. So it is a regular repeating path that one object in space takes around another one. An object in orbit is called satellite. A satellite can be a natural like Earth or the moon. Many planets have moons that orbit them. So what we are saying finally, so we have every planet which has an orbit, which has a satellite, like that. Different planets are always revolving another planets. So that is a celestial object, right? Next, how it looks. So these pics will give you some information, what is orbit, how the satellites are revolving the planet, right? So the lines which denotes the orbit, that is path. The path, we have a different shape, one is circular and another one is elliptical. Okay, from the center of the earth to the outline of the orbit, which gives the somewhat distance, which is called as orbital radius. Then the radius of the earth, which is denoted as capital R. Then from outer surface of the earth to the orbit surface, that is called denoted as H. So these are the some parameters we need to know. What is the difference, what is the distance between the center of the earth to the orbit? uh, that is very important parameter in order to place the satellite in the orbit. Next, what is communication? The importing or exchanging information by speaking or writing or using some other medium. This is the basic definition for communication. So example, transmission, relay, conveyance and disclosure, which means that we are going to send or receive some information such as telephone lines or computers, what else, some etc we are having devices which gives information between the two devices, right? Then what is satellite communication? There is somewhat difference between a communication and satellite communication. A communication satellite is an artificial satellite that relays and amplifies radio telecommunication signals via a transponder. It creates a communication channel between a source transmitter and a receiver at different locations on Earth. Okay. So what is transponder? Transponder is nothing but a transmitter responder. So we are going further. We are going to see about what is transponder. A transponder which gathers signals over a range of uplink frequencies and retransmits them on a different set of downlink frequencies to receive on Earth, often without changing content of the received signal or signals. Right. So this is the architecture of a satellite communication. So we have somewhat elements. The first one, in the Earth we have a user. The next one, terrestrial system, then Earth station, then Earth station which gives connected to the antenna which transmits the signals in the uplink frequency to the satellite which receives the signal by the transponder, and it change the uplink frequency into downlink frequency without changing in the contents of the signal, and it transmits to the antenna of the receiver station, the Earth station. The Earth station then process the data in the basic terrestrial system. So terrestrial system is nothing but a repeater in order to amplify the signal. Then finally it reaches the user. So this is the basic diagram of your satellite communication. So then how it works? See that this is another image. The Earth station which has the antenna, which the ground equipment transmits signals to the satellite. The ground equipment, that is a dish which transmits the signal to the satellite. Then the second one, the satellite amplifies the incoming signal and changes the frequency. That is an uplink frequency converted into a downlink frequency, and it transmits to the receiver station of the Earth. Okay. The finally third one, signal is transmitted back to the Earth. Then finally the corresponding ground equipment receives the downlink frequency. So this is the basic functionalities. Then finally, how satellites remains in an orbit, how the satellites are placed in an orbit, how it remains in an orbit. So further we need to know three basic parameters, that is gravitational force, velocity and mass. Okay. So this is a formula we have, capital V equal to square root of gm divided by r. Okay. What is g? So g is nothing but a gravitational constant, that is force. Then m is nothing but a mass of the object. Then r is nothing but a distance from the center of the Earth. So then finally we get a velocity of the satellite. How it speed the satellite has to rotate the Earth in order to remain in an orbit. So this is the fundamental formula in order for a circular orbit, that is a low Earth orbit. So for if we have to the next one, so the formula gives a required velocity to the satellite to remain in an orbit. For circular orbit above 500 km from the surface, it would need 7615 meter per second speed. Okay, that much speed will only the satellite will be remain in the orbit, else it will be fall to the Earth. The greater altitude needed less velocity to maintain the orbit. If the distance will increase, the velocity in order to it be reduced, then shape of the orbit will be changed, that is in shape of elliptical. Okay, then how it works? The Earth station sends a message in gigahertz frequency, that is the uplink frequency is gigahertz. Then satellite receives and retransmits the signals back, that is downlink frequencies. Then finally footprint, the transmitted signals that will be received in the some area of the Earth. So that area coverage will be called as footprint. Then finally types of satellite. We have two types of satellite. One is active satellite and another one is passive satellite. It is one in which the satellite signal is amplified and its frequency is changed by transponder before it's sent back to the Earth. So that is called active satellite. Examples: communication broadcasting satellites. The next one, passive satellite. These type of satellites simply reflects or scatters the microwave signal back to the another station. Example, military and non-profitable services. So far we have seen that basics of the satellite communications. I think students have a somewhat idea about what is satellite communication, how it works, how it looks, what are the elements of the satellite, then finally what are the types of satellite, how the satellite will be remain in orbit, right? We have somewhat idea. Just go through the book and you will know detailedly. Okay. Any queries? Okay. Thank you.